Do not fall for the pro-war propaganda. This is the same playbook that they used in 2003, so here's a little recap for those of us who were too young to remember it. President Bush's public relations campaign began in September of 2002 when he went in front of the United Nations to warn the world about how Iraq was supposedly building weapons of mass destruction. He even brought Benjamin Netanyahu, yes, that Benjamin Netanyahu, to the UN to tell them that there is, quote,
no question whatsoever that Saddam is seeking and is working towards the development of nuclear weapons.
Bush's claim about weapons of mass destruction was always a lie, and the UN proved it. They passed Resolution 1441, which sent international inspectors into Iraq to investigate whether or not they were developing WMDs. Iraq and Saddam Hussein, their leader, agreed to the inspections, let the inspectors in, and they concluded that Iraq had no weapons of mass destruction. Since the Bush administration had already decided that they wanted to invade Iraq, it didn't matter that the whole world knew that the WMD claim was horseshit. All they had to do was convince the American public. So he sent the most trusted member of his administration, Secretary of State Colin Powell, to the UN to give this now infamous testimony, where he held up a scary-looking vial of white powder and presented a bunch of misleading computer-generated images that supposedly proved that Saddam Hussein was harboring al-Qaeda terrorists and building weapons of mass destruction to destroy the West. American media started glazing George Bush and the war effort with magazine covers like this from Vanity Fair, opinion pieces in every major newspaper, and pro-war guests dominating on Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. Democrats like Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer voted with almost every Republican to invade Iraq at a time when 72% of the American public supported this baseless invasion when it started in March of 2003. With all the retrospect, we know that the Iraq war was a complete disaster. We lost thousands of American soldiers and hundreds of thousands of Iraqi civilians, and a war against Iran would be no different. Now we're seeing countless American politicians and media figures saying things like, we cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, but no one has proven that Iran is close to getting one or that they're even trying to develop one. Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying for decades that Iran is on the cusp of developing a nuke, but Trump's own director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, told Congress in March of this year that Iran was not building a nuke. This is a lie campaign being blasted all over our feeds to make it so that you consent to having American troops and treasure being dragged into another endless war in the Middle East. Gen Z won't buy this, especially if they drop me a follow and stay educated.